Tea time, tea time. I don't have my little pour guy right now, so we're just gonna be totally chaotic and drop this in. It's gonna drip everywhere. Lick the side and be on our merry way. Hi. Hello. It is time to tackle these guys. I sound like I'm gonna attack them in a bad way, but I am a little aggressive. Just intense. I need to address this area, and then I think this will be done. I'm just gonna add some of the highlights basically and get into kind of into the weeds, superficial layer that feels very like light and almost like dry. And then I need to add more depth to this. So we've got the deep darks in here, but I need some more light to be pulled out. I think this one's like almost done. Just a few little things. I'm not sure if I'll oil paint today, but if I do, I'll work on this because I wanted to apply to that show today. But I will make sure that it happens. I'll work on it first thing next week if I don't do it today. I'm going to just focus.
When I'm first coming back to a painting, I try to find the most accessible entry point. And for me, I was at the place where I needed to add highlights. So I grabbed my smaller brush. To create the rest of the painting, I used probably a 3/4 inch brush or larger. But when I get really to the details of these leaves, definitely using something smaller helps. So I'm pulling in these highlights and I'm making sure to work on the whole piece at the same time.
Okay, this is very wet at this point. So knowing like when to add which medium is kind of important for me. So getting the deep darks and then getting kind of middles and then eventually getting light with both the collage, the acrylic paint, and going in with some different drawing tools and stuff. So I really want to add a bunch of dry grass almost to that last layer. If I was to use these tools right now, because it is still wet in areas, what would end up happening is it would like streak through, and sometimes that's a desired effect, but I want it to look dry. And so if the painting is not dry and then I put a dry medium on there, or a lot of mine are dry to wet mediums, it would end up like it would turn into like an ink or a watercolor. I want to avoid that, so I'm gonna let that completely dry, not even tacky, and then I'll go in there and then I'll add like a really light layer of a few things. But we're gonna wait for that. He looks really dark. Is he really dark or is it the camera? Are you shrouded in darkness? Oh, I don't have the light on. That would probably help. Okay, so you, sir. I want to add some dimension. So these are starting to have dimension, but they need more. And then there's this other layer of leaves that's gonna be like here that isn't really clear, and then make these pop as much forward as I can. And then I need a little bit more of this like blue detail because I like that. It's pretty subtle, but I have the base layer of these little clovers. So that's like the darkest layer of those, and then I'll pull it up to be lighter. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with other areas. Like this is a darker version of this, and then I'll pull it up to be lighter. But this can be a little lighter too. A little bit more detail on this. There's just like, everybody needs something. This whole painting is like really not even close to done. Mostly just finish this one because this is just really small. It's so little. Might be fun to just feel like I've completed something, because I have done, I have like so many pieces going and none of them are done. While I don't mind that, it is nice to be like, yeah, I finished that one, you know what I mean? Even if it's the tiniest one. Let's do it.
I needed to silhouette the mid value expressed in the painting with a deeper dark. So I created this very rich violet as it would contrast with the yellow very well. Then I started adding more light.
All right, this painting was like, I heard you wanted an easy one to finish. Let me make you take the next however long. I just have no chill whatsoever. This is a random book. I can like rip this up or something. Yeah, I have no chill, so obviously I'm gonna take forever to finish it. There's just something missing, like I don't know what it is. I think it needs some collage. This is some handmade paper that I made. It's like a scrap. It must have gone awry. So I have just like a little bit of it. We're gonna, yes, that's what we want. That's what we want. We're gonna have a great time. I need glue, people. I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of collage, so I'm not gonna get out my PVA. I'm just gonna, I like changed this so much. Sometimes I stick really to it, and sometimes I just go rogue. Oh, that's way better. Oh my God. We're gonna keep going in this vein, I think, because it feels good. This just like embodies what I'm trying to say with this piece. The handmade paper part is really cool. Ooh, since this is a series, it might be cool to bring in a little bit of tape like I did in the other piece, because I think this has a similar color palette. You are my destiny. You tape. Oh, sir, excuse me, sir. You are not meant to be there. No, thank you. Ooh. Well, now we have a new problem. Now we gotta integrate all that. I think that she's done. Meep meep. Yay, she's done. I'm excited. I feel pretty good about it. I hope you're focused on the painting and not me. Camera. Don't look at me. Look at it. Look at you. Yay. Okay. This was a really small, quick one. Just take a comparable tool to the back. After a very professional test, well, to have this test be really good, your hands can't have paint on them. But I already know where there's paint. So I just go like this. And then if there's anything that comes up, then it's not dry. If it feels sticky at all. So it's not sticky. So I'm gonna find the driest bone in the place. Because I want it to feel dry, I'm not gonna go with any oil pastels or anything, because that feels wrong. I wouldn't go with Posca because it feels very wet. I could go with colored pencils.
If you would like access to my mini guide for sustainable mixed media paper paintings, you can check out my Patreon. I go through all of my favorite supplies in detail, as well as my foundational techniques.
Okay, these are pretty good. I want these. These are like very dry looking and feeling, but they're at the bottom. Ooh, this gray guy might be good. What about this pink? Where are my dry boys at? I don't have a lot of these left. I've kind of like got them down to the bone. He's long, clearly. He's like so saturated, so I like never use it. This is like the most saturated stuff I've made maybe in my entire artistic career. I always work so natural palette, so I always do a really wide range of value, really dark darks, really light lights, and then I'll do pinpricks of saturation. I'm trying to like flip the scale a little bit and create even a more dramatic tension between the saturation and the dull. So this is my experimental thing that I'm doing. What I'm trying to portray in this is kind of like a magical feeling of interconnectedness with the landscape, but having the landscape itself feeling very magical. All right, I'm just gonna. See, this is the dry effect I'm talking about. If this was wet, this would get activated. We'll see how it goes. Ah, that's a good color. You are a good color. I'm just doing this regular speed because I am quite fast. So we gotta step back and see the effect it's giving. Anything I do, I step back. It's looking good. Genuinely, the only thing that feels better than finishing a painting is starting a painting. She will not be easily translated. I tend to shoot dark if you've got the middle of it. I'll go like a little bit to the left. If it's an area that it's like got a lot of dark, it tends to like blow it out a little bit because it's like, you can't possibly want it to be that dark. And I'm like, I do want it to be that dark, but not that dark. That was an exaggeration. I don't actually do it that far. Got some detail shots, pretty good. I got them on both. I tend to take a lot of photos just so I have enough to use for what I need it for, just to put on my website. Cool. Sometimes I put the working title, I'll put it in pencil. So these two are done. Can we get a 3 for 3? Can we finish this one? I don't know, what time is it? 2:53. Not all that promising. I don't know if I can finish this in the next 2 hours. And I do need to make food. I think I'm gonna make a smoothie and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna assess. But I wanna work out a few more things. So this can just really be a sketch to figure out what I'm doing for the larger piece. And this is nearly there for that. I just need to add a little bit more. So actually that would be fine. I think I can manage that really. And then we'll have 2 finished pieces, a sketch, and then I could bust out the oils. No. So handmade paper, because at least the kind I make, I don't put like size in it or anything. I put a little bit, but not, it's a little bit more vulnerable to water. So it kind of like becomes pulp again if you get it wet. And because glue stick, there's a lot of like water in it. Because it was like really, really thin, it kind of just disintegrated a little bit. I like to put it down first and then kind of like mold it into it. With paper, I would go the opposite route. Like if it's a thicker paper, like a regular thickness, then you could just put it directly on there and then add it. You know what I mean? Like glue the paper. But what I do like to do with paper as well is, now I have stuff in my finger, I cover it after. That helps kind of like seal it. But I am gonna pull a little bit more of this in, so I'm just gonna use what's left of my finger, I guess. So I got a lot of glue on me. I think that should be good. Okay, I think there was less that I needed to do than I thought, but I definitely would consider this a full piece at this point and not just a sketch. Let's, I didn't need to do that much to it. I would like to make this large. Not like massive, but bigger than it is now. We'll take another pick. All right. This worked out quite well. Told myself I want to finish these by the end of the week. And on the 11th hour on Friday, we have done so. Usually I'm not so close with these are my self-made deadlines. Let's see. Ooh, she's looking smexy. She's good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sure what to name this one either. I tend to name stuff when I have like a collection together and they kind of feed off each other. I don't know what's going on outside. Anyways, I gave it a working title of Found Relics. So we found this under a porch. Today, we finished 3 pieces. Pretty happy. Okay. I did not plan to finish these. Oh, I was hoping I would. Got 3 paper paintings done. And the next session I will be working on these 3 smaller pieces. And then I will try to pair that with working on the largest piece, because it's really helpful for me to have smaller pieces while making the big piece, because then I can kind of like move around. I am happy. Well, thanks for hanging out in the studio with me. If you'd like to purchase any of my original artwork, you can head to my shop on my website. So I like to have small seasonal work that is applicable for whatever season we're in, and those are available here. And then I have my larger work, some of which is in a gallery and some of which is just in the other room. So you can reach out about those pieces, and yeah.
If you are looking for more in-depth art inspiration and guidance and to join a growing art community, you can head to my Patreon and become a free member, a studio supporter, or a fellow maker. And then if you're a fellow maker, you have full access to the mini guide for free, or you can just purchase the mini guide there as well.
Okay, I will catch you on the flippy flop. I will see you later, and yeah.
That was a quick.
Come on. I'm just gonna keep going. Alright, we're just gonna do some oil painting. Oh, let's do it. Let's friggin' do it.